Howdy, welcome and hello. This is Jim Carl. I am the Senior Director of Film Programming for the Carolina Theater of Durham, and welcome to the Nevermore Film Festival and tonight's live conversation and chat with the filmmakers from the feature film, The Stairs. So joining me tonight is our co-moderator. Her name is Ronnie Rosbachs, and she is also on the Nevermore jury. So Ronnie, hey, how are you doing there?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you, Jim?
Good to see you. Very good to see you. So let's just jump right on into it. Let's introduce our cast and crew for this wonderful feature, starting off with the director, Peter Drago Tiemann, as well as the producer, Amanda Jones. Hey, Drago and Amanda, how are you doing?
Hi, everybody.
Nice to see you.
Wonderful.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, next up, we're bringing in the writer, Jason Lowe.
How's it going?
Hey,
Thank
Jason.
you, Nevermore. Thank you, Nevermore.
Hey, great to see you. We've also got the creature effects technician, Peter Spawn.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, good to see you. Hey, did Ryan ever join us, or is Ryan out there?
I'm here.
Hey.
Hi there.
Well, this is Ryan Purcell. He was the director of photography. It's good to see you, Ryan.
Good to see you as well. Thanks for having us.
So this is great. This is really nice. This is the first time that all of you have been together virtually since you shot the film, or do you guys just hang out together all the time?
No, this is it.
Yeah, it's sort of the first time we've seen everybody because it wasn't too long after that, COVID hit. So, yeah.
Well, that's actually interesting. I mean, so you shot this pre-COVID.
Yep.
Does that mean that all the post happened while COVID was going on?
Yes.
Yeah, wow.
So tell us what that was like. Hey, photobomb.
It was interesting. We've all kind of tried to figure out how to best operate in this COVID world. And everything takes just a little bit longer, and it needs just a little bit more eyes, and it needs to, communication is challenging.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but it worked out.
Normally you do a lot of stuff in the editing bay with your sound design, your colorist, your editor. We had to do everything virtually, so it was interesting. It was, but we got through it.
You'd probably have some filmmakers that would say that they appreciated, well, I have had other filmmakers that say that COVID made their film better because they spent more time in post than they traditionally would have had if they weren't already working full time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that the case with you guys, or did you already have it so tight that you knew exactly what you wanted and it just, post took a week?
We had it so tight. No.
Yeah.
We got really lucky actually. Because of COVID, we could, stretch it out a little bit and spend a lot more time on the finer details that we wanted.
Well, that's great. So, Jason.
Yes, sir.
The writer, tell us all about how you came up with the idea for this script. And is this your first script, or is this like your 100th script?
Well, I mean, the idea was Pete's initially, and then we just kind of expanded on his idea, and we actually co-wrote it. So I don't know if you know that, but we did. And so we just sit in a room for 6 months and yelled at each other. It was kind of fun.
Speaking of that process, I know that some people in our audience might be familiar and some people might not. How much inspiration did you draw from the search and rescue, no sleep, stairs story?
I mean, just slightly. It's just kind of slightly based on that. They find stairs, people finding stairs in the woods, but that's kind of like the only jumping off point we used. Everything else was just like,
end of it.
Yeah, we just kind of like threw our ideas on top of that kind of concept, right, Pete?
Yeah, totally.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was loosely based off of the phenomenon that you see a lot of people posting. They'll come across the abandoned stairs in the woods, and they'll just be like, "Wow, this is kind of creepy. Where did this come from?" And so it just kind of spawned our imagination of creating this story that's wrapped around it, and try to make it a little more original than the other stories that are out there.
Awesome.
So, Peter, this is your first film? Or Drago, this is your first film?
Yes.
So I know that your background has been in stunt work.
Correct.
How did that background help you making your directorial debut?
It helped a lot because I've been spending the last 20 years on set. Some of those, the last 12 years off and on as a second unit director when needed. So that really helped, putting together the shots, putting together the scenes, figuring out the locations, all of that.
Where did you film this?
There's actually, we shot mostly all in and around in Seattle. The majority of it was at Shoreline Park, which is about 30 minutes north. We shot that, all of our day scenes were mostly at the Shoreline Park, or Shoreview Park, I should say, at Community College. And then we had one day out at the Espresso Chalet, which is an Index, and it's just really gorgeous. It's where they shot Harry and the Hendersons. Yeah. So they have a huge statue of Harry out there, which we had to put in our film because it's just, iconic. And then our night shots was at a good friend of mine, Rory's. He has 20 acres out in Carnation. So we did all of our night shoots at his property so that we could maintain.
People are commenting that they see those cans of chili on the bookshelf behind you, Amanda. Yeah. Are those the actual props from the film? Oh, more chili.
Yeah.
There should be 8, right? 8 cans?
Yeah, they're chili cans, Crazy Pete's chili.
Yeah.
We had a whole giant concept around it, but we couldn't, we couldn't film like everything we wrote. It was just like we had this huge, they were like chili cans raining from the sky and all this stuff. But, we couldn't, with the time we had to film the movie, we had to cut a bunch of like cool stuff out. And chili cans were kind of featured in the film. They're actually Crazy Pete's chili, Pete Teeman.
I just want to say that, Jason was the writer, but he was much more than just the writer. He was on set every day and, working with the crew, and just, it was a pleasure to have around. So he was, deep in production as well.
I love you, Ryan.
Likewise.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, like if you look at the credits, there's things like there's no location manager or like production designer. That's just kind of like me and Pete running around for 6 months. We mountain biked every park in a 50-mile radius looking for locations and just went crazy.
That's amazing. Did you actually build the stairs either on your friend's property or in a mystery place in Seattle? Or
Mr. Spawn.
That was me. We built it in my front yard. The neighbors wondered what the hell I was doing.
How did you transport it?
It all was able to be broken down into unit sections and then put into a trailer and driven around to the different locations where we needed it. And then re-erected, of course.
That's amazing. And it supported weight, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah, actually, the high point of my set building career was getting, how many people did we have at the very first week shoot? Maybe 25 people, yep. All piled onto the staircase, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh my god!" And we took a group photo, so yep. I was amazed it all held.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
We're getting quite a lot of shout outs on social about that grub baby.
Yeah, the grub baby.
Yeah.
Give it a close up.
It's delicately placed.
Yeah.
Nice.
That design.
So where did that come from? What was the inspiration for that? Was that just like a glowworm gone terribly, terribly wrong, or?
Yeah, it's supposed to be, I don't know, it was an amalgamation of like some sort of insect grub and a baby face was what the idea was. It was supposed to be like half human, half creature. That's where it came from.
Nice. How did you make it?
Spawn,
Peter Spawn.
yeah, Peter Spawn made them.
So
And we had a group called Bandersnatch Studios here locally in Seattle that did all of the creature, the skins, the feet, the head, and the skin.
Yeah.
But Spawn did all of the mechanicals.
That's awesome.
He brought it to life.
Yeah.
yeah.
So it wasn't electronic. It was like moving.
Yeah, it was a puppet.
Okay, I had an argument with someone about that.
So it's what we call a tentacle puppet, which means it moves like a tentacle. It has 4 points of access in 2 different areas.
Okay.
We're getting questions from the fans asking about the leeches. Are those real? They looked real and they looked live. I also want to shout out to Josh Crotty. Loved Josh. Loved him in that role. Loved that scene in the film. But talk to us about the leeches.
Yeah, those were real.
They were real. They were real. Bandersnatch Studios and Claire Brooksbank are makeup key. They got those 2 groups got together and they created these leeches out of gelatin. And Claire knocked it out of the park. Put them all on there and made sure that they stayed as he was getting in and out of the water during that scene. So yeah, it was
I think
amazing.
we lost a couple actually in that scene, but luckily it happened when he was still in the water, so you didn't see them drop off. So
yeah,
it's just like spirit glue and water doesn't go together, I don't think, very well. But they did it. They did a good job because we lasted through those takes.
Yeah, they did a really good job.
That's awesome. Could you tell us a little bit about the difficulties of filming in the forest and or your friend's backyard? Like, were there lighting issues? Was it hard to pull off? Was it?
I mean, the biggest difficulty is rain. It's like we got lucky for the first, what was it, like 10? Well, I mean, it didn't rain much. We had one night where it was like we had to shut it down, but it's pretty scary, like, because most of the movies it's not raining, and then all of a sudden if it starts raining, you're kind of screwed a little bit. But rain is kind of your major problem. Other than that, you could just go for it.
Neat.
I mean, the movie looked so good. The entire film just looked beautiful. Not only the cinematography, but the art direction. I mean, the acting, the performances. Can you talk to us a little bit about the casting process? I mean, when you guys started looking to who you were going to bring into this, I mean, obviously you have, the 2 big name actors, which is, John Schneider and Kathleen Quinlan. Yep. But what about casting the rest of the cast with Brent and Tira and Josh and all the others and Adam? Talk to us a little bit about how you brought them in.
Well, we had a casting director, Jeremy Gordon.
Jeremy Gordon was a great casting director, and we approached him with this script, and we said, we showed him this huge board of, what Drago and Jason and everybody kind of envisioned these characters to look like, and we're like, okay, go to town. And he did, and he cast the whole group of people. And fortunately, they were all friends and had worked together and had worked with Jeremy before. So it was pretty seamless. The whole process was really great. Yeah.
Oh, I see somebody's asking about Dirty Doug. Should I ask for that? Yes, Dirty Doug is a real character. It's a good friend of mine, Doug Wethington, whose son, Tommy Wethington, is our little Jesse in the film. So originally that character, everything about Josh Crotty or Dirty Doug is Doug Wethington, personified in the flesh. He's a hilarious young man.
Did Josh spend time with him to figure out how to fully reflect his presence?
Well, just on set, but he just knocked it out of the park. Like right away, we had him. I just knew that he was perfect after the first video. I was just like, yeah, this is the guy. We don't need to look any longer.
We're good.
And then there's Thomas, who, like Pete, it's the Dirty Doug's real son, Thomas, who plays the kid in the movie. Pete had the idea of casting him because he worked with him before on Z Nation, and I don't think he'd ever been in a feature either, right, Pete?
No, that's his first feature. Yeah.
He did a pretty good job.
Yeah, he did. He did an amazing job.
Was it hard to work with a kid in the movie?
No, not at all. I think we got lucky with Thomas and his parents. His mom was his guardian, and she was on set almost every day.
Yep.
And his father was our transpo captain.
Yeah.
So when he wasn't running around and doing whatever he was doing for transpo or whatnot, he was on set helping out, and it was just really awesome. He was just a great kid. Never had a moment where we were like regretting anything, like you hear horror stories, like everybody says, don't film a film with kids, whatever you do, like don't do animals, don't do kids,
But it was smooth.
But we went against the grain. I'm like, no, we're gonna get this kid, and it turned out great. He was amazing.
And then the mom, who's Trin Miller, we wanted her from the start too.
Yeah.
We knew her locally.
Yeah. I worked with Trin on a lot of films locally, and she's just a pleasure to work with.
Yeah.
I know that earlier you mentioned stunts being your general background, and there were quite a few stunts in this that were extremely impressive. What was your favorite one to sort of put together?
Probably the body burn. I did that.
Okay.
That was me on fire.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad you made it out.
It was, we filmed that the very last day of production, and
just in case.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case. That's right. And I think everybody at the end of production was super happy to see Drago get lit on fire and sent through the woods. Yeah. It was at the end of it. Everybody cheers. It was kind of our big fire day. We did all of our fire stunts in a day.
Yeah, we burned the stairs down that day. We did all of our fire stuff that day.
Yeah.
Pete, was that heartbreaking for you?
Actually, it was kind of yes and no. It was a little bit heartbreaking, but it was also like this cleansing. It was kind of like, for everybody on the set, it got really quiet when we were lighting the stairs on fire. And it was just so somber and kind of like a weight had been lifted, almost like, because it was the end of the film. The stairs are now on fire. You can't go back now.
No reshoots.
No more shoots. You got to keep going forward, and that's a wrap.
Plus, it took about 2.5 hours to get the stairs lit.
Yeah.
The stairs had been sitting out in the rain for 2 weeks, and they were a little bit soggy. So we had to bring out the big guns to get that thing to burn. Eventually, it did, but it took some effort.
Yeah, it did.
That was the fun thing about writing. It's like, Pete doing stunts, we knew we wanted to have a body burn and blood and people getting, jacked up. Like Rebecca's death, it's pretty involved with like rigging and all that stuff. So it was like, that was the fun part about writing it, because we knew Pete's skills, and we could just like throw in gunfights or gunfire and all that stuff. And it was just, it was a blast doing that with Pete.
Yeah, we had an amazing stunt rigger that's local that actually runs the stunt school here in Seattle, the International Stunt School, and he did the red for that whole series. And his name's he's amazing.
He's great. Yeah. At 2 or 3 in the
Yeah.
In the middle. Yeah.
So this is the big question. This is the big elephant in the room. You might not want to answer this. What are the stairs?
That's a good question. I think that Jason could probably answer this too, but I think as we were writing, mainly the idea of the stairs was that it was the villain. It's a character in the movie, even though it's not really shown a whole lot, but it's the catalyst that allows things to come from another dimension, or us as humans on our plane of existence to be able to travel into their existence. So it was basically a doorway or a gateway, and the only way to close that doorway is to destroy the stairs. So
yeah, I'm not quite sure where the basement idea came in, but it was quite a revelation, because it was a little bit more of a dynamic of the just like staircase sitting in the woods. We're just like, where can we take this farther? And then once we busted into that basement, a whole different world opened up. And we got really lucky with that location. It's a old steam plant that was electricity for the city, but they haven't tore it down. It's like a historical site, and it was a really awesome place to film. Purcell will tell you that. I mean, it was just like really cool looking.
Yeah, it was a great location for sure. And I think it really took that underneath the stairs into sort of a new, different dimension. I think it really worked out really well.
Was that your favorite location to film, or did you have another favorite?
Well, that one was, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed shooting that one quite a bit. It was a bit of a load in, and we only had one day there. So it was a lot of work to get in, shoot everything that we could, and then get back out. So, maybe next time, 2 days or something. But it was probably the most interesting location. I mean, we were out in the woods for a couple weeks, and that was, pretty big challenge. Night in the woods, fighting the rain, and it had some challenges. So indoors is good.
There's a question for Drago from Geek Out Cinema. It says, "Hi, Peter. With you having so much experience before making your directorial debut and knowing connections in the field, did you find it easier to get investors? And how do beginners find those people?"
That's a really good question. So I've been in the construction field as well as doing stunts pretty much most of my life. That's me and Jason worked together quite a bit, doing remodel jobs and various real estate jobs for real estate agents and personal customers that we've worked for like 10 years. So really our investors were our friends and people that we were already doing work for. And they were following our career of, going on this movie, going on this TV series. And they were just always so supportive, so interested in everything that we were doing constantly. And they were like, hey, if you ever decide to make your film, give us a first crack at it. Let us know if we can, help you invest in it. And so we just kind of, put that in the little stovepipe for later. And then all of a sudden when we decided to hey, let's go for it, we started calling up everybody that was interested.
Yeah.
And then some of their friends also kind of came on. And so that's exactly what happened. It was just fortuitous, I would say. It was perfect timing.
Nice. I have a question for Peter Spahn. Of the creatures that you worked on and the things that you did, what was your favorite?
The baby grub disco. I had to say it. The baby grub, definitely my favorite. I loved making that thing. It was a lot of fun.
Nice. How many did you make?
Well, we had to make a prototype first because we had to make sure it worked. So there was actual multiples of them made in different stages and different sizes because we weren't sure how the skin was going to come in, and we had to get it all working. So it was a lot of trial and error, a lot of prototyping, a lot of research and development, and then it all came together in the end, actually, and it came together great. So
awesome. We were wondering, why did you choose Nevermore to submit to?
Well, Nevermore, you have a very high quality reputation in front of you.
That's
yes.
true.
Yeah. We chose Nevermore. We did some research. I'm an Edgar Allan Poe fan, obviously. One of the, top horror film festivals in the world is kind of a big thing. So, we submitted and we didn't have any expectations. Nobody had seen the film. When we submitted, the film wasn't even done.
Yeah.
So it, being selected was a huge honor. And then for Josh to get the Best Supporting Actor award was, it blew us away. Yeah. The film has been incredibly well received, and I'm so proud of everybody that's done it.
Yeah, I was so excited for Tyra also being nominated.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Tyra Collar and
Yeah.
our whole cast, everybody was just amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody really.
Shout out to Russell Hodgkins.
What?
Shout out to Russell Hodgkins.
Oh yeah, Russell Hodgkins.
He made a little.
Yeah, he made a little cameo in the end.
Yeah.
He was our search and rescue captain at the end. Yeah, the guy with the mushroom bag. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
I have a question about the bag. Did you deliberately fill it with 4 pairs of jeans and 8 cans of chili and I don't know, a pot, or was that like kind of improv?
No.
Well, that's actually a true story that happened to us. So we put it in the film. Well, parts of it was we went on a camping trip. We like to go on these big hikes, and we went with some friends, and me and Jason. And it was about a 20-mile hike, I think, Jason. And then Jason, we both kind of under-prepared for what we were going to be going on. And Jason ended up bringing like 2 or 3 pairs of pants. He brought like this crazy old like canvas like Boy Scout pup tent, and then like a bunch of cans of chili. So he was like 40 pounds overweight, the poor guy. And then like we didn't realize that we were going to have to like hike in 20 miles or something like that. So we about like lost our minds because of just the length and the weight we were carrying. So when he got there, I think he ended up eating all of his food, obviously, and then he burned his tent. It's still there, and buried all of the jeans. And he's just like, "No, I'm not packing this stuff out." So we thought that was such a hilarious story. We had to put it in the film.
That's amazing. We had a question from John, which was John Schneider's line, "You missed the best part," after his grandson goes missing, was weirdly disturbing. Was it meant to be, or was it an ad lib?
I think that was an ad lib by John. He did a lot of ad libbing, and agreed. We thought it was very disturbing, and it kind of took a little twist, and we kind of liked it. Same thing when he announces kind of darkly, "Where's my favorite grandson?" You know, it's kind of, if you can put it in a trailer, and all of a sudden now he looks like, you know, sinister in a way. It was just, we had to keep it in there because it was just so weird and off. I love it.
That's excellent. What was your favorite part?
Me?
Well, yes, but also everyone.
I'll let everybody go ahead, guys.
My favorite part?
Yeah.
I think my favorite shot of the movie is the drone shot over the bridge. I don't know why. I just love that shot. But I don't know if was Purcell flying the drone on that one. That was the fun part. I mean, we were like, I don't know, we were just there every minute. It was a blast. But that's what I remember most, is that shot for some reason.
Were there any backstage stories that happened during production that you want to talk about?
I don't know. It's like it's hard because it's like we were so focused on you know, just moving forward and getting everything done. I don't even like, it was such a blur that I don't even remember anything truthfully. Other than just,
there were a couple of like really fun days. The rigging was fun. Lighting on fire was fun. Georgetown Steam Plant was fun.
Yeah.
Under the stairs.
I think one thing that was sort of interesting to me was at that park we found those structures. You know, how they go through the thing and they find these structures. So those weren't really anything that we did, but we found them in the park and on our scout. And then we talked about finding ways to incorporate them into the movie, and we're able to find a couple places, even though the first AD was not too thrilled that we were adding a couple little scenes into the movie. But I just think it really helped it, added some production value and a level of weirdness. That was kind of
that's right.
Good find.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that. There was this. So as we were shooting the 2 weeks at Shoreview Park, me and Jason, like the 2 months previous, we were mountain biking all these parks, trying to find all these like really great spots to go, and none of those, we were calling them nests, were there, and like, because we were over every inch of that park. And then our first day, we saw one of the structures being built, and it didn't look like a nest. And then day 3, all of a sudden you have like a full nest, and then the next week there's another nest over here, and it was like some random person in the middle of the night was like going into the park and setting these up and like building them. So we had to like put them in the film because they're just too bizarre. And it's almost looks like, you know, we had somebody built them, but they're not. It was just some random person in the park building them. Yeah. So we had to have them.
Yeah. And then Tony was like, "You're adding how many scenes to my day?"
Yep.
Like, well, they'll be really quick. They won't take too long.
Classic Tony.
Yeah.
Amanda.
I think one day though, I think we saw the nest guy like in the woods there.
I think he did, and then it looked like he was walking one of the nests as we were shooting it, and then he walked away, and we were all like, "I think that's him."
Yeah.
For the record, I didn't carry an iron pan in my pack bag.
Oh my god.
Amanda, I've seen in other interviews that you've given about this film. As a producer,
Yeah.
what was the best part about being the producer on the stairs?
I would honestly I would say the entire cast and crew. Being able to do this project with people that you like and you know that you knew beforehand, and I'd never worked with such a big crew, and it was incredible. Everybody was totally great, and I think honestly, like that's my favorite part about shooting this film was the team that we had. Yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
And Drago, for you, it's your first film. It's your first time at bat making a feature film. Did you enjoy it? Will you do it again? Is there something? This is something that you want to pursue, or do you want to stay in stunt work? Is this a one-off?
No, I've got the bug. I always knew that I wanted to direct, even at an early age, but before I was even in stunts, you know, that's the one huge connection between me and Jason is we're such huge film files. Like we watch everything. It's like every genre we love, and we just love movies. And so this film really just cemented and concreted that I am in the right industry, and that I just want to keep pushing forward and putting out more films.
Yeah.
Do you want to stay in this genre?
Yeah, I mean, horror and sci-fi are my favorite genres, but I would like to break out of those. You know, I don't want to be pigeonholed to do horror. But yes, I definitely want to do more.
Was there anything when you were making the film, and I guess also while you were writing the script? I know that some directors and some writers have favorite films that they revisit as they're doing their writing. What were you guys watching while you were writing the script?
Actually, we were trying not to watch anything, but we were listening to some really good soundtracks, like Annihilation. It's one of my favorites. I love Event Horizons. It's very atmospheric, and you know, just kind of gets you in the mood and sets the pace for when you're writing and hashing out scenes. You know, and just yeah, that's kind of what we did. We didn't really watch any films other than. No, I don't think we
You
watched
didn't.
it.
You
Yeah.
guys they were listening to music from different soundtracks of different films that, you know.
that we loved.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's talk a little bit about the score for The Stairs.
Yes, please.
Yes, let's give some shout outs to some of the crew members that aren't here that are not here. If you can, just go ahead and give some shout outs to anybody you'd like.
BC Smith, he did the sound score for us.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Danny Knutson did our sound design, and then we did some slight post tweaks of the sound for a QC report through Bad Animal Studios. So we had it at Bad Animal Studios for about a week. But yeah, BC Smith, his sound score, he was working with us from the very beginning. We told him our ideas of like, you know, here's my favorite soundtracks for horror. Here's kind of what I see. I want everything to feel organic, and he really knocked it out of the park. He even made the music for like Underneath the Stairs. I told him the only time that I don't want it organic is when we're in that other realm, underneath the stairs, and that needs to be, you know, kind of otherworldly. And he he really hit. So I'm just very fortunate to have got him on this project.
Yeah, he created the stairs itself had its own music.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
To go back and forth and listen to the different stems and watch the first set of the movie with BC and be like, okay, this, and it was I mean, everybody's amazing.
There's some Mark Todd Osborne, the colorist, was really awesome.
Yep.
Right.
Michael Tang, the editor. Let's see. Ryan Enkham, Daniel Mamura, who worked with Ryan Purcell with the camera.
Yep. Yeah, Purcell, you have any you have any guys you want to shout out here?
Brandon Ramirez.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Brandon was
And Souza.
super key.
Yeah, well, Jason's covered a lot of them. It was great great having Daniel on the set. And play with the Steadicam out in the woods was pretty fun, and I think added a lot, especially with the early stuff. With the grandpa looking for the kid, just gave it sort of a little bit of an ominous feel. So he did a great job. Billy, my gaffer, and Key Grip and everything else. Also, I had a good team, and it was very small, but everybody did a great job. So
Very small.
Esther Elise Johnson, Tony Becerra,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
the 80s.
Peter Spahn, you got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, well, we got to thank Regan.
Yep.
We got to
Oh,
thank
that's
Regan
right.
for helping build the steps, man. That would not have happened without his extra set of hands. That was a lot of work.
The picture that Bridget posted of her and Brandon.
yeah, I'd also say I don't know for Chad, also the guy,
Oh yeah.
the
Chad.
caretaker over at the property there. He whenever we needed something moved around, or he was always able to hop on the tractor and do whatever. When we needed to burn the stairs, he was the one who got a bunch of lumber and threw it in there and a blowtorch and managed to get that thing to go up. So he was just one of those guys that you never know. Every movie has that person who comes out of the shadows, has never done it, and all of a sudden they're an indispensable part of the production. So he was pretty awesome.
Yeah, even Austin is on here. Austin O'Dwyer saying that it was a privilege to make the poster for the movie.
Yeah, Austin was great. Austin's I think in Florida.
Texas. Yeah.
Somewhere over there. He's very far away on the East Coast, and it was just happenstance that we connected with him, and he heard about the stairs, and we pitched him this idea, and he put it together, and it's that carrot was really cool.
Ryan Spicard.
Oh yeah, there's so many people.
There's tons of people.
I'm just going to say all the names in the credits.
Yeah.
So guys, we're going to start wrapping it up.
Okay.
It's almost 8:40. So what I'd usually like to do to close it out is go around the room and each of you talk a little bit about what's next after the stairs. I know that you're still going through the festival rounds, but what is next after the stairs? And let's start with Ryan, and then we'll go to Peter Spahn, Jason Lowe, and then we will finish out with Amanda and Drago. How about that?
Sure. I've got, it's been pretty slow with COVID. I have not done a ton of work. I just shot a short film that was a 4-day short that was pretty fun, good script. Got some documentary projects that are coming up. A documentary in Chicago, I guess, is the next thing that is on the docket, but about a architect. So I'm looking forward to that, and trying to figure out my next narrative move, because narrative is my first love. So we'll see what happens.
I'm looking forward to building a brand new puppet that I've been working on. It's another baby puppet that will probably be its first showing, will be a haunt for this coming Halloween season. And then I'm constantly pestering Drago every day, going, "What's the next puppet we're gonna build?" So I'm looking to a future of just building puppets.
Just working, playing Candy Crush, tossing around a ton of ideas. Actually, Pete and I were thinking about going out and shooting some stuff for some stuff we've been talking about working on. So just living in Seattle.
You want to go first? You want me to go first?
My first career, obviously stunts. So, and I do effects coordinator as well. So I just wrapped on a TV series in Butte over the winter. And then I think that it might get greenlit for its second season, which will be shooting this summer. If that's the case, I'll be back in Butte this summer. Plus a couple other little local projects. There's the film community here in Seattle is just it's just nice tight knit family, and so I get to work on a lot of cool little projects.
And the production company, Wandering Dragon, who did The Stairs, we're excited about the release eventually this summer. It's for everybody to see it, and we're looking at our next couple of projects. So we're actively in the script reading mode.
Yep. Acquiring scripts.
Yep.
We're thinking about shooting something, giving ourselves enough time. Ryan Purcell.
Ryan, keep that phone here.
We're trying to do adequate pre-production this time instead of like, in 2 weeks, hey, Ryan, can you jump on shoot? So we're basically just trying to give ourselves enough time that we can shoot this winter and
this next one.
This next winter.
Yeah. So
Good to see you, Purcell. Good to see you, Purcell.
Good to see you too. It's great to be seen. Yeah.
It's nice to see everybody.
Yeah.
What a crazy year.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Thank you so much for hosting us.
Yeah.
Nevermore has been incredible, and we just really, really appreciate the time and effort and energy that everybody over there has put into not just the festival, but really given the attention to this, little production out of Seattle.
Yeah, the only sad part about this is like I would have loved to have met you all in person and like had that experience. But
next time.
Even though we're in a virtual world right now, you guys have made this feel like we're there. So thank you. You guys did a great job.
Well, we do this every year, so
Well, thank you so much for that's really nice of you to say, and I do appreciate it. It has been strange. I mean, this is the first time we have done Nevermore as a virtual festival. I mean, not that that's any big shakes. Everybody is experiencing a first time at something, and so it's been nerve-wracking. I'm glad it's the last day, personally. I really am. I'm already moving on to the next, just like you guys moving on to your next project. Our next big series that we produce, the next big festival, is the Out South Queer Film Festival.
Oh, awesome.
And that's the next major festival, and submissions for that opened 3 days ago. The floodgates have already opened for that as well. So I'm working. There's no rest at all. Literally, we end one festival, and I'm already 3 days behind on the next one.
Oh, man.
And so,
well, congrats on no sleep.
I know. It feels like that. So, guys, thank you. Just thank you so much for everything from Nevermore. Thank you for the beautiful film. Thank you for letting us screen it. And thank you most of all for just being here tonight. You guys have been probably some of the best filmmakers as a group that I've worked with in 22 years. It's been a privilege working with you guys to bring The Stairs to Nevermore. It really has been. Amanda, you have been awesome. I believe, Amanda, that you were the very first filmmaker or artist, let's say artist, to reach out to me personally after the letters of acceptance went out.
Really? Oh.
And that meant a lot. J.M. Logan from The Relic was second, but you were the first to reach out to me.
Don't tell anybody. The secret will get out.
It's only fitting that the last artist I speak with as we close out Nevermore is you, Amanda.
Oh, thank you.
So perfect circle. Love it. Thank you so much for everything. We're going to sign off now. To all of our fans out there that are watching and listening tonight, I would like to make an announcement. Nevermore 22 is officially the highest grossing and the highest attended film series that we've ever produced as far as Nevermore is concerned. And that is amazing. Would have never predicted that as we were entering last Friday. But so thank you, thank you, thank you. Nevermore 2022 will be happening. Hopefully it'll be a physical festival back at the Carolina Theater. It's scheduled for the end of February, the last weekend in February of 2022. And before you know it, submissions will be reopening. Submissions open October 1st. So signing off for the Nevermore Film Festival and thanking you one last time. This is Jim Carl, Senior Director of the Carolina Theater. So long, good night, bless you.